gentlemen, if everyone who can and who would like to take a seat, and we will get started in less than 30 seconds. Again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all of our young ones who are here. We are going to certainly respect all of our time, and we'll make sure that our young people can get home in time to get a good night's sleep and finish that homework. So with that, we are going to now open our meeting for October 17, 2017. Again, welcome. And we are going to have Public Safety Academy. That's one of our charters here in San Bernardino. They've been around for a little while. They primarily work with young people interested in going into fire, science, and police. So we're glad to have them here, and they're going to present colors. After they present colors, we will ask, let's see, who do we want to ask? We'll ask Chief Polino if he would lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance. So let's stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Order. Right, face. Forward. March.
Give them a round of applause, please. You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you, Public Safety Academy. And thank you, Chief Polino. 1.3, the adoption of the agenda. Are there any augmentations?
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and second.
Yes, Madam President, we'd like to actually pull item 6.12. It's a duplicate item, so we'll pull item 6.12. And then I would like to read into our consent calendar an additional item 6.33. You have a copy of that in front of you, and our public also has a copy of this. And I'll read it as follows. Master Facilities Use Agreement with Colonial Chesterfield at Riley's Farm, Oak Glen, California. The detail of text is in front of you. And so you'll see that there. The approximate cost is $12 per student for a trip for this purpose. Yeah, it'll be a new item at the end of the consent calendar, 6.33.
Dr. Marsden,
Yes.
Question.
can we keep the one item on after all?
Oh, you want to keep it on after all? Okay, so we will not pull item 6.12.
Sorry.
Is that correct? So we're
that's
keeping
correct.
both items? Okay, thank you. So disregard, we will keep item 6.12. Thank you.
And we will add 6.
We will add this new one that I just read out to you.
3.3.
Yes, correct.
Thank you. So it has been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote, please. Thank you so much. 1.4, inspirational reading, and Board Member Mike Gallo.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Hill. As you know, we've deployed a program called Growing Hope at San Andreas High School. It's one of our continuation high schools, and it's part of our whole Career Pathways initiative to look at demand industry sectors and then demand occupations within those sectors, and then actually build into our public education system the credentials, certifications, abilities, and skills necessary to effectively compete for those demand occupations within those industry sectors. So creating an economic development strategy for students. And I've got a video of a couple of students at San Andreas that I'd like you to see. So I'll ask Daniel if they would mind queuing that up and play this.
I wanted to know why I was being separated from everyone else in school and why I wasn't like being accepted towards other people.
Well, I remember I used to steal. I was at this Target one day, and I was inside the cafeteria trying to blend in with the cameras, and I saw this guy. He was sitting right across from me, and he came up to me, and he suddenly he just talks about God. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, I believe in God, but like I was gonna go steal. Like I recognized that the life that I was living, it just wasn't worth it, and it wasn't getting me anywhere.
I went to my mom and asked her, do I have something? Is there something wrong with me? As a kid, I was taught that ADHD is the hyperactive disorder. And I thought like, oh, that means I'm gonna be active the whole entire time, when it kind of doesn't.
I used to just ditch school. I wasn't really involved. Hanging out with the wrong crowd.
I would have these traumatic sessions inside my head, like, you're not good enough, you're supposed to be good enough, why aren't you good enough? Everyone else is normal, but not you. And then my freshman year, for the New Year's, I promised myself that I'm gonna do something about it.
So I go and talk to my counselor, see if I can go to San Andreas. And it's like a fresh start too, because getting out of the environment so I can clean myself up, basically.
My mom also helped me as well. She taught me how to cook and how to garden, and like I really enjoyed it.
It's made me to just find the good in everybody. While I was doing bad things, God was still trying to reach out to me. That right there gave me hope. In your deepest, darkest places, when you never think you can change, when you never think you can become something great, that's a lie.
So when I transferred into San Andreas, my world changed significantly. I felt more confident. There was more things that I was interested in, and I always had the thought process, what was the major thing that I could help out in my community? Where's my calling?
I had no hope, but ever since I was involved with Growing Hope and I seen the opportunities it had, it's really shown me what kind of future I'm really exposed to and what I can have.
When I entered Growing Hope and when I saw it here, I was amazed, and I wanted to be hands-on, and I want to understand further what was hydroponics, and it actually helped me out notice more what is needed around my city, and it can actually be quite beneficial towards everybody.
Growing Hope has really developed a future for me. It's really opened up my mind.
Because this can help me out with my career, and hopefully one day I can make something big out of it.
I'm Alejandro Mendoza from San Andreas High School.
Hi, my name is Brandon Guerrero. I'm from San Andreas High School.
And we're growing hope for students like me.
We're growing hope for kids like me, and hopefully for people like you.
Cool. Yeah, and these kids are my inspiration, and it's just great to be working with a great team, and with San Bernardino City Unified School District. And this is happening all over our district. You know, there's a lot of kids struggling and a lot of kids having all kinds of issues, but this is a respite for them. This is hope for them. And so the great work that all of you are doing, we get to share in that and hopefully enable through the work that we do here at the school board, more and more of these activities being deployed to help kids like Brandon and Alejandro. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gallo. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you for the message. We will move on to session 2 and 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 are all special presentations. So let's get comfortable and line up on the side, board members.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're so glad you've joined us today as we celebrate a special honor for one of our dedicated teachers, a community partner, and our outstanding student, employee, and parent awards. We will begin with a very special Emerton Elementary School teacher who has dedicated 17 years of her stellar career to teaching our students. First, I would like to invite the Emerton Elementary leadership team to come forward with Principal Mrs. Tasha Lindsay Doison and Vice Principal Nertha Arroyo Goodley. Please join us down front. Now we will call forward Emerton Elementary teacher, Ms. Tracy Diekmann. She is this year's San Bernardino County Teacher of the Year, an honor she shares with 2 secondary teachers from surrounding school districts. Tracy, as you come forward, your family may join you if they are here, and any members of the Emerton staff who choose to support you. Oh. Oh. And bring those great signs. If there are any students from Emerton, you're welcome too. I know we all love Mrs. Diekmann. What a great sign. As the crowd makes their way forward, I would like to share that Tracy is a passionate teacher whose career in education began after she left a successful career in nursing. She is a proud University of Redlands graduate. Tracy teaches her students much more than academics. Her lively lessons motivate students to begin thinking about attending college, starting as early as elementary school. Tracy has a genuine belief that all students can succeed, and she pushes them to excel, but she always does it with love and kindness. And just like her students, Tracy pushes herself to excel. She is now in the process of becoming a national board certified teacher. Congratulations on your success, Tracy. And on behalf of the Board of Education, Tracy, thank you for making hope happen. That's so cool. Thanks for coming down. Now we're going to recognize Mr. Gilbert Brown III. Let's give him a round of applause. Gilbert D. Brown III serves as Western Regional President of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Tonight, we are recognizing Mr. Brown for his support of our own district police department and their efforts in working together to bring the Learning to Live initiative to our San Bernardino City Unified School District. With his help, more than 300 students in our community have had a positive impact through this partnership. As Mr. Brown comes forward to receive a special certificate from the Board of Education, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to give him another round of applause. And the board is coming down. I'm sure Chief Polino as well. So cute. Partnerships are one of the things that make our San Bernardino City Unified School District a strong part of our community. Let's give Mr. Brown another round of applause. You doing all right? And now the Board of Education is pleased to honor students, parents, volunteers, and staff from Gomez, Henry, Bing Wong Elementary Schools, and Curtis Middle School. The board recognizes outstanding students to build self-esteem and to honor excellence in academics, athletics, fine arts, citizenship, and most improvement. We are fortunate to have a strong partnership with the San Bernardino Symphony, who is providing free concert tickets to all outstanding students and their families, as well as Assembly Member Mark Steinnorth, who is also presenting certificates to the honorees tonight. The board will also recognize outstanding parents, volunteers, and employees. When we call each honoree, would you and your family please come forward to greet the board and then to take a photo with Superintendent Marsden. Teachers, please join us when your student is called. Let's start our awards program with Gomez Elementary School. Would Principal Alicia Foz please join us? Audience, please welcome our first outstanding student, 6th grader, Adeline Bonilla. Would Adeline's proud parents, Jose Salvador and Mabelen Bonilla, and her teacher, Eva Baschoff, please join us as well. Adeline is a hardworking student with an excellent vocabulary. She is also a role model, and a leader, both in and out of the classroom. Adeline says she wants to attend Cal State University San Bernardino and become an FBI agent. Let's give her a round of applause. Our next honoree is 6th grader Betsy Fuentes Salcido. Would Betsy's proud mother, Beatrice Salcido, join us and any other members of her family? We would also like to invite Betsy's teacher, Gabriela Rodriguez, to join us as well. Betsy is determined and diligent, which is why she shines in every subject. She is also a responsible model student who always practices respect for others. Betsy says she wants to become a primary care doctor or a Harvard-educated lawyer. Let's give her a round of applause. Our next honoree is 6th grader Isaiah Martinez. Would Jose and Isela Martinez please join us as well? And will Isaiah's teacher Eunice Gutierrez also come forward? Isaiah is a bright and energetic student with an impressive critical thinking skill. He clearly values education and puts his all into completing his assignments. Isaiah says he wants to go to college and become an engineer. Let's give him another round of applause. Oh. Here comes a teacher. Now we're going to honor an Outstanding Parent Award winner, Maria Gomez. Maria, will you and your family please join us down front? Maria is always ready to help the staff at Gomez Elementary School. She puts together packets for teachers, makes decorations, and she volunteers at many events. Maria, you are part of the heart of Gomez Elementary School. Let's give Maria another round of applause. We will now honor outstanding staff from Gomez Elementary. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming forward Gomez Elementary's custodian, Daniel Mata. Daniel, you and your family are welcome to come forward. Daniel does his work with a pep in his step and a constant smile on his face. He builds positive relationships with students, and he is an excellent example of having positive passion for his work. Daniel is the best day custodian Gomez has ever had, and for this he is receiving the Outstanding Classified Employee Award. The Outstanding Certificated Employee is Resource Teacher Mayra Barragan. Myra? Myra goes above and beyond by coordinating testing, curriculum orders and distribution, and also providing technology support whenever needed. She is always calm, cool, and collected, and her positive attitude is contagious. Myra is a true asset to Gomez, and every day she makes it a point to make hope happen for the students at Gomez Elementary School. I would now like to invite Grace Monroe, principal of Henry Elementary School, to please come forward. Will sixth grader Kimberly Hernandez Gonzalez please join us along with your mother, Sandy Gonzalez? And any other member of Kimberly's family, along with teacher Carly McLeod. Kimberly is always on task and is committed to making improvements in all subjects. She is willing to ask for help when she needs it, and she's willing to help others whenever she can. Kimberly says she hasn't decided what she wants to be when she grows up, but she knows she needs to work hard in school no matter what her career choice is. Let's give Kimberly another round of applause. Our next honoree from Henry Elementary is fourth grader Jonathan Pinto. With Jonathan's proud parents, Lesbia Lopez and Juan Carlos Pinto, and his teacher, Jeanette Balcazar, please come forward. Jonathan is truly an outstanding student, and he is constantly improving himself. He loves math, and he loves completing word problems. He supports his classmates by encouraging them to do their best and by helping them with whatever he can. Oh, Jonathan says when he grows up, he wants to become a police officer. Jonathan, Chief Polino is coming down to speak with you. Looks like we have our newest future recruit. Let's give him another round of applause. Our next honoree is fifth grader Javier Reyes Cruz. Will you please join us? We also would encourage his proud family members, his mother, Guadalupe Cruz, as well as his teacher, Jennifer Maya, to please join us. Javier is an outstanding citizen who always puts forth his best effort, and he serves as a role model for his classmates. He's been working at or above grade level in all subjects since August. Javier says he wants to attend UCR and become a professional soccer player. Let's give him a round of applause. While the outstanding students pose for a group photo, let's welcome outstanding parent, Claudia Covarrubias. Would you please come forward? Claudia? And your proud family. Claudia volunteers during recess and also plays games with students and helps them set up the Henry store. She also checks binders and agendas as part of the school's parent group. Claudia is an integral part of the school community. Parents like Claudia help our schools help our students succeed. Let's give Claudia another round of applause for being an outstanding volunteer. Thank you. Our next honoree from Henry Elementary School is custodian Charles Charlie Worthington. Charlie is the outstanding classified employee for Henry Elementary. He is always willing to lend a hand to anyone who needs help. He has a great attitude and exhibits positive passion for his work. Charlie takes pride in his work and making sure that everyone has a safe and clean campus to come to every day. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Charlie another big round of applause. Our outstanding certificated employee for Henry Elementary School is 5th grade teacher Diego Napoles. Would you please come forward? Diego works hard to build solid, positive relationships with Henry's scholars, and he's also a natural leader on the school campus. He not only teaches his scholars what it means to have a growth mindset, he exemplifies it through his interactions with the scholars, the staff, and the parent community. Ladies and gentlemen, let's congratulate Diego on this outstanding achievement. Next, we welcome Bing Wong Elementary School and Principal Ryan Rainbolt. He is joined by Vice Principal Dorothy Sauls. Our first honoree from Bing Wong is 2nd grader Tyree Hollins. Will Tyree and his proud mother, Tyshee McQueen, please come forward, along with Tyree's teacher, Callie Atencio. Tyree is not only a great scholar, he's also a great person. He excels in all subjects. He is always polite and well-spoken. He follows school rules and has an outstanding work ethic. Tyree hasn't decided on a career yet, but he knows that he wants to go to college and learn about outer space and skeletons. Let's give him a round of applause. Next is 5th grader Giselle Romo. Will Giselle and her proud family, Maria Elena and Hugo Romo, and any other family members, along with teacher Aida Frias Toulouse. Giselle is a great role model at her school. She always tries her best and has an upbeat attitude. She loves learning, she contributes to class discussions, and she also enjoys researching topics that interest her. Giselle is deciding between becoming a zoologist, a veterinarian, or maybe a real estate agent. Let's give her a big round of applause. And our next honoree from Bing Wong is Ezra Ruiz, a 6th grader in Suzanne Denko's class. Would Ezra, Miss Dinko, and Ezra's proud parents, Martha Ocampo Ruiz and Jesus Ruiz, please join us? Ezra is a student ambassador and one of the faces of Bing Wong's Dangerous City videos. He is a top student in math and language arts. Ezra also works well above his grade level. He is a familiar face in the iSTEAM lab at Bing Wong Elementary School. Ezra says that when he grows up, he wants to become a structural engineer. Let's give him a round of applause. And our next honoree from Bing Wong is Linda Crawford, the Outstanding Parent Volunteer. And Linda, if you have any family members, they're welcome to come forward. Linda is being honored because she is dedicated to the success of all Bing Wong students. She volunteered to teach etiquette and manners during CAPS, and she participates in school site meetings and events. She is a parent who makes hope happen at Bing Wong Elementary School. Let's give her a big round of applause. Our outstanding classified employee from Bing Wong is custodian Vincent Vasquez. Vincent does everything in his power to complete his job at the highest level. He truly cares about his job, his co-workers, and the students at Bing Wong. Vincent exemplifies the idea of focusing on results together by working collaboratively with others for everyone to succeed. Let's give Vincent another round of applause. Our outstanding certificated honoree from Bing Wong Elementary is 6th grade teacher Caroline Yenni Dunye Yun. Caroline treats Bing Wong as if it were her home away from home. She is cheerful, enthusiastic, and professional. Caroline is a type of employee who arrives early, stays late, and uses her free time to make Bing Wong a fun place to be. Let's give Caroline another big round of applause. And finally, we will be honoring Curtis Middle School, and will Principal Marlene Bikendova and your leadership team please come forward. Our first honoree from Curtis is sixth grader Amy Barrios and her proud mother, Elisa Armendariz. Would you please come forward? We'd also like for Amy's teacher, Daniel McIntyre, to please join us as well. Amy is the perfect role model at Curtis. She excels in all of her classes and inspires her classmates through her work habits and her willingness to improve herself. Amy says she hasn't chosen a career path yet, but her teacher is sure she will go far no matter what she decides. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Amy another big round of applause. Our next honoree is also an eighth grader, Fernando Cruz Rodriguez. Fernando, will you please bring your family, including your proud parents, Fernando and Anna Cruz, forward? Will Fernando's teachers from the Cheetah team also join us if you're here this evening? Fernando is a phenomenal student. He continually works to improve himself, and he is currently applying that drive on a STEM project designed to help teachers become more efficient. Fernando says when he grows up, he wants to attend UCLA and become a civil engineer. Let's give Fernando another round of applause. Our final outstanding student from Curtis Middle School is eighth grader Brisa Guzman Puente. Is Brisa here? Will her proud mother, Edith Guzman, and any family members please make your way forward? And if there are any teachers from the Lions team, please join us down front. Brisa is a detail-oriented problem solver. When she sees a need, she devotes herself to solving the problem. Brisa strives to push herself to be the very best she can be. Brisa says she wants to attend college to learn how to help animals as a veterinarian or as an animal rescue worker. Let's give this future veterinarian another round of applause. Let's give all of our students from Curtis another round of applause while they're going to pose for another picture. Our next honoree is an outstanding school volunteer. Would Daniel Chavez and his family please join us? Daniel is an active member of the Curtis Middle School community. He attends all of the school site council meetings, and he is the president of the school's English Learner Advisory Council. The Curtis staff truly appreciates him, and we thank him for his dedication. Let's give Daniel another round of applause. Congratulations. One more, Karina. Our next honoree is the Outstanding Classified Employee. She is a Secretary 3. Please join me in welcoming Cecilia Gregg to please come forward. Cecilia always provides the best customer service for Curtis parents, students, and staff. She models professional work habits for the entire office, and she always takes 100% responsibility for her work. She possesses the qualities that make her an outstanding employee. Let's give her another round of applause. And our outstanding certificated employee is teacher Treg Painter. Is Treg here? Will you and your family please come forward? Treg Painter takes an innovative approach to the Common Core and has made his class a favorite among students. And he has helped to build the capacity of all math teachers at Curtis Middle School. He truly seeks to be the best at getting better every day. Let's give all of tonight's honorees another round of applause, and this completes our award celebration.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was a lot of standing and a lot of handshaking for them, not me. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. If for some reason you're leaving, remember you can live stream us at home. But please, we'll be right back. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've returned and we're ready to continue with our board meeting. Thank you. 2.4, school showcase, and we have Curtis Middle School. You saw our wonderful principal here a few minutes ago, Principal Marlene Bicandova, and she will provide an update on Curtis.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Again, Marlene Bicandova, Curtis Middle School. Tonight we are showcasing some of the amazing work of our counselors. So we have Cindy Hawley and Michael Partita. So in particular, what we want to share with you is a strategy called the Undercover Anti-Bullly Team. We've had amazing results. It is a restorative justice practice, and we want to share that success with you tonight. So this is Cindy Hawley, our counselor.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So undercover anti-bullying teams are a restorative practice, and it's a very creative but a no-blame approach to dealing with a bullying situation. So when I decide that I'm going to do an undercover anti-bullying team, what I do is first I meet with the victim, and I write down their story, find out how they were affected by the bullying. Then together, we choose 6 members to be on the undercover team. The tricky part about choosing the members is that 2 of the members have to be the worst bullies on the team. And 4 are students who are well-respected, who don't get bullied and don't bully anybody. So once we identify the team, you know what, my clicker? So once we identify the team, I meet with the team and I say to them something like this: we have a bullying situation and I need your help. So then I read them the story and I have them respond. Usually they respond with, wow, that's really sad, or sounds like they need a friend. The bully doesn't know that I know that they were doing the bullying, so I usually have to play it off. So then I invite them to participate on this undercover team, which is a covert operation, a secret mission where they will be working secretly to help stop the bullying and help make the student feel better. And most of the time, they're excited about it and they agree to be in it. So then we make the plan. And the great thing about the plan is that, in my experience, the bullies usually are the ones that are more involved and more interested in creating the plan. And the thing is that kids really don't want to be mean. They need to be given the opportunity to be kind. Sometimes they just don't know how. So then, I follow up weekly with the victim, and I follow up weekly with the team just to see how the progress is going. And once the victim tells me that the bullying has stopped, usually it takes about 4 weeks. Once they say it's stopped, we disassemble the team, we celebrate, we get the admin involved, make a really big deal, and kind of goes from there. So the beautiful thing about an undercover team is that it not only changes the victim's story, but it changes the bully story, because they go from being a bully to now a helper. So I have done personally a total of 12 undercover anti-bully teams. And my coworker, the other counselor, has done about 8. So together we've done about 20. That means we've changed 20 lives, and that not including the 6 that are on the team. And so far, we've had a 100% success rate in stopping the bullying with this process.
Well, that deserves an applause. Thank you.
Thank you. So now I'm going to share with you some real examples of student statements. So here we have before the intervention was implemented. And I just note that I have changed students' names just to maintain their privacy. It says here that some kids in my class say mean things to me every day. They call me crazy and insane. I cry almost every day when I go home. So then I gather their story and, how they feel after the intervention. And this is what this student had said. The team has stood up for me. They help me with my work, and they are nice to me. The next student said, a student calls me the B word, fat B, and the H word, makes me feel like I should not be eating. And then after the intervention, the same student said, I feel like everything has changed. Jason is smiling and makes me feel good. He also talks to me. Lisa encourages me to walk away if somebody says something. This team is making me feel safe. And another student statement. Students make mean jokes about me. They yell, you suck. It is affecting my learning because I can't focus. I am stressed. My mom is worried for me. It makes me feel mad, and it makes me want to leave and change schools. After the intervention, the same student said, I feel good about school now. I can now focus on my work. I would like to thank the team because they made the bullying stop. So basically, the undercover anti-bullying teams work like a miracle to me. So now I'm going to share a video of a student who was recently a victim of bullying, who had an undercover team done for her, and she is sharing her testimony.
Well, the undercover bully team helped me because the kids weren't bullying me as much as they do. Like, before I came to the school, I've been knowing these kids for a couple of years, and they would talk about me. And they would just talk about how I dress and how my hair is and how I just am. It would make me kind of sad and mad. But ever since I started the undercover bullying team, they've been, talking to me, asking me to sit with them at lunch and stuff. It felt kind of weird at first, but then I got used to it, and then it just makes me, feel like a different person. if every school had an anti-bullying team, there will be less kids that will be being bullied, and there will be more kids that will be happier and safer. So I think every single school every school and counselor should be doing anti-bully team to help kids who are being bullied, so they could feel better about themselves.
Any questions?
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Before you leave, I don't see any lights yet, but I think Dr. Morrison has some. Oh, I'm sorry, the light's on now. Dr. Flores?
How did you come about this strategy?
Well, it started off with, I have Dr. Michael Winslade. He wrote a book called Safe and Peaceful Schools. So I read the book, and I came across Undercover Anti-Bullying Teams, and I just studied it and highlighted, and I tried it. And then soon after that, now they are training the counselors. I believe most of the counselors have been trained in Undercover Anti-Bullying Teams.
It's amazing just to hear the students shift in their transformation, not just the one that's bullied, but all the other team.
Yep.
And it just, it struck my heart because, we usually don't know what to do, and it's always just one-on-one, but this is like a collaborative effort to just change a culture. I mean, you're not just changing, individual kids' lives, you're changing a whole culture. In terms of respect and caring for each other and supporting each other. I salute you a lot. It's great.
That is my goal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Tillman?
Great program. Is there ever a time it didn't work?
There was a time where I thought it wasn't going to work, and this was last year. It was the longest one I've ever done. So usually it takes about 4 weeks. This one took about 4 months. And I had to remember to stay positive and to remind them, remember, we're going to celebrate once the bullying stops. And after the long, torturous 4 months, it miraculously worked. But I really thought I was going to have one failed one, but it did eventually work.
And the bullying is always only verbal, it's never physical, or?
Usually it's verbal. Sometimes, there's been some physical, like if it's the boys are pushing around in the locker room or something like that. But most of the time it's been verbal and teasing, that sort of thing.
Thank you.
Dr. Morrison?
Yeah, Ms. Hawley, I want to thank you for your presentation. Great job. It's a fantastic example of what we want in all of our counselors and the work that they lead, specifically around this topic. And Ms. Bikendova, I want to compliment your leadership. Board, Marlene's leadership epitomizes the values, the beliefs that we're seeking to establish among all of our leaders. She's a coaching principal, and that's a peer-to-peer model, as you know, that's based on collegial support for our district. She knows how to establish a culture of success. She knows how to get results. She's a leader who's hungry, humble, and smart. She's hungry to grow and hungry to help others grow. That's her constant focus, is the growth of the people around her. She's humble, always putting her team and the success of others before herself. And she's smart, people smart. She understands the complex nature of human leadership and knows how to influence for success. And we're proud of her accomplishment of leading Curtis from being one of our district's lowest performing flight schools to one of our district's highest performing destination schools. And so that's a leadership to not be taken lightly and to be complimented. So thank you for your leadership, and thank you for your presentation tonight.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Ms. Hawley, before you leave, is the other counselor, your counterpart, here tonight?
He is not here tonight, unfortunately. He couldn't be here.
Well, thanks. But the one thing you said, I was so glad to hear, people who bully don't want to be mean, and I concur. They just want to be noticed.
Yeah.
So thanks for putting the other hat on them. So thank you. Thank you for the great job, Curtis. Really appreciate you.
Well done.
.5 recognition of National School Psychology Week. Ms. Rogers, if you would do that resolution.
Yes, I would.
A recognition.
Recognition of National School Psychology Week, whereas the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District joins others across California and the United States in recognizing National School Psychology Week, which is November 13th to 17, 2017. And whereas children's mental health is directly linked to their learning and development, and the learning environment provides an optimal context to promote good mental health through connectedness, which within the school and community, and whereas school psychologists are specially trained to foster and deliver a variety of mental health services and academic support that lower barriers to teaching and learning, and therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District encourages all schools in the district to set aside November 13th through the 17th, 2017, as National School Psychology Week, and acknowledge the great contributions that school psychologists make to our students and our schools each day.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote, please. Thank you. 2.6, Mrs. Medina.
Recognition of Substitute Educators Day, which is also called guest teachers. Whereas substitute teachers are a vital part of the education profession, providing a balanced education for all students. And whereas the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District joins others in the nation in recognizing Friday, November 17th, 2017 as Substitute Educators Day. And whereas substitute educators provide a critical link to the education of public school children by serving as a bridge to provide continued quality education to students in the temporary absence of regular classroom educators. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District encourages all schools in the district to set aside Friday, November 17th, 2017, to acknowledge the great contributions substitute employees make to our nation, our students, and our schools each day.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote. Thank you. 2.7, Mr. Gallo.
Yes, thank you, Dr.
I
Hill.
think I asked
Should
Mr.
be.
Tillman.
Oh,
so
do you want to read it, Danny?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Okay, and Mr. Gallo, you'll begin us next round.
2.7, resolution declaring November 2017 California Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month. Whereas among the unprecedented diversity of California, there reside an estimated 250,000 Americans of Sikh origin, comprising nearly 40% of the nation's estimated Sikh population. And whereas Sikh immigrants have resided in California for more than a century, with the first Sikh immigrants having labored on railroad construction projects, in lumber mills, and in the agricultural heartlands of the Sacramento, San Joaquin, and Imperial Valleys. And whereas while Sikh Americans have become pillars of our society and have made invaluable contributions in the areas of agriculture, trucking, education, medicine, and in the creation of small family-owned businesses, therefore be it resolved that the San Bernardino City Unified School District Board of Education hereby recognizes November 2017 as California Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month, and hereby encourages all of our schools and to conduct appropriate commemorative exercises to promote awareness of the contributions of Sikh Americans to California's history. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Last vote, please. Okay, thank you. Session 3, we do not have any student board members. They are busy studying. They're all seniors and studying for their AP exams and things of that nature. 4.0, public comments.
Thank you, Dr. Hill and the board. We do have a handful of public comments tonight. First, board welcomes the Public Safety Academy, has a brief presentation. Welcome. And thank you for your fine leadership tonight and the presentation of the colors.
What's your word? My worth is more than gold, ma'am. What's that you say? Hey, ho, my worth is more than gold. About face. March time, march. Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are, so we tell them, Word cadets from PSA you've heard so much about, and every time that we go out the people want to shout, hoorah, hoorah, ha, 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 ha. 1, 2, 3, hoorah. 1, 2, 3, hoorah. Right face, fall out.
Great job.
Nicely done.
Oh, but before they all go, I just want to give a shout out. Yes, you know I'm going to do it. That's my niece that was leading and calling them out. Good job, Destiny.
All right, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Wonderful.
And
Thank
Dr.
you.
Hill,
Mr. Gallo?
I have,
Don't leave yet.
PTSD from some of my days back in the military academy. I remember singing those very same songs, and I still wake up in a cold sweat and nightmares sometimes.
That was a great job, you guys. Congratulations.
And thanks for sharing this beautiful card. It's a thank you card, and the message inside reads, "Message on cover may appear smaller than actual gratitude." Thank you so much for coming down, being our honor guard, and doing your presentation just a minute or so ago. Well appreciated. Let's give them another round of applause.
Well done.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, you guys. Board welcomes Matthew Given, has a progress report on strategic games, so welcome. Oh, and I must have misread, forgive me. I actually do not have my glasses on, so I will do that. And sure enough, it's Mr. Matthew Owen. Thank you, sir, welcome. Yes, sir, at the podium here with a microphone. Perfect, thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I apologize for not being as nice as you or as obedient as them, but if I was, I'd be pretty useless to you. Okay, and I would like to thank this board and Dennis Warman of CAPS and Ian Franklin of Fighting Chance and the good folks at SBTA for opening doors for me very much. It is my sad duty to report nothing behind those doors as far as support for teaching the kids to fight with their brains rather than with their fists or with weapons. Okay, that's what strategic games was meant to do. That's why I took a knee. Okay, not for those who have fallen, but for those who will fall because they haven't been taught to fight with their brains. Okay, when me and the people that I work with, when we go out and fight fascists, we do it with our brains. We got no choice. That's the way we can find out of our way. Okay, so like I say, I thank you all for opening the doors for me, but it's because the folks who pulled the purse strings have nothing for us in that regard that I took a knee for those who are going to fall. And mark my words, they will. So I'm out of time, and guess what? So are you. Okay, I've got to offer my services elsewhere. They'll be available, but if they pick up what you haven't yet, Before you do, it's on you. Okay? So I beg your leave, but I got fascists to fight. Thank you.
Mr. Rohn, thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time tonight. The board welcomes Ms. Vanessa Kaigoy, Hardy Brown College Prep Update. Welcome. Good evening.
I have a quick update. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
St.
Welcome.
Helens Superintendent Marsden and board members. So this is a quick update for Hardy Brown. So the School Site Council had their first meeting tonight. They did their formal training and they participated in a human scavenger hunt where they all gave 2 interesting facts about themselves. And Miss Allen's going to kill me because her 2 interesting facts I am going to put on public record. And that's that she's adventurous, she's gone skydiving, and she likes to eat a lot of food. So, yes, that was her interesting facts. Last Friday, they had a masquerade ball. It was a mother's-daughters dance. It was actually the biggest on-site event that Hardy Brown has had, with 250 people in attendance. So that's pretty big for Hardy Brown. I saw some of the pictures. I'm sorry I don't have any pictures for you tonight. I'll be sure to share them with you all. But the mothers and the grandmothers and the aunts, they were all dressed up in formal attire as well as with their scholars, and they really enjoyed it. And the whole MP room was decorated in pink and purple and turquoise. So that was that. Intercession will begin for us in 3 weeks. So intercession is a 2-week period that we give one of our pillars as more time. And so this is an opportunity for our scholars who are performing under the 45th percentile in the NWEA testing to get extra hands-on assistance with their teachers. So that will be happening. And service learning projects will take place in 2 weeks. So every trimester, our scholars participate in a service learning project. They talk about what they can do to give back to the San Bernardino community. And so that's what they will be doing for every single class and every grade. But that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you for your...
Before you leave, thanks for the update, Mrs. Medina.
I appreciate you bringing always the updates for the school site. Is there a page on Facebook or social media that people can follow, that can view those pictures, since you weren't able to bring them down?
You know what? Yeah, I believe so. We do have a Facebook page. I do know that. I don't know if our Director of Marketing Communications had a chance to post them yet.
Okay.
But they will
Just
be
checking.
posted. So Hardy Brown College Prep is the Facebook page.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again. And the board now welcomes Margaret Paul, who will speak on the acknowledgement of California Association of School Psychologists Outstanding School Psychologist Award for crisis team leadership. So welcome. Good to see you.
Hi, I guess it's perfect timing. National School Psychology Week is acknowledged by
go.
you guys
Perfect.
in November, but Ashley was going to acknowledge this as well, but I just wanted to say I'm very proud that one of our own, Carla Cruz, won the Nadine Lambert Outstanding School Psychologist Award from the California Association of School Psychologists, Region 6, for her work and our work in dealing with the crisis at North Park. And I can say from my own experience, I was so proud of our district. And I'm so honored that our state organization has seen to honor our district and Carla with this award.
Yeah, well deserved.
Thank
That's
you.
right.
Thank
We
you.
join you in that.
Thanks for sharing, Ms. Paul.
Thank you for taking the time to make that acknowledgement. Board welcomes Mr. Trayvon Martin and 30 Under 30 group. When he's done discussing this, I'm going to talk about the new 50 Under 50 group that I'm going to work to establish soon.
And I'll talk about the 70s.
All right, here we go.
Good evening, President Hill, Board, Superintendent
evening.
Marsden, and Cabinet.
Good evening.
My name is Trayvon Martin. I am here with my fellow awardees. I'll let them introduce themselves, and then I'll speak on our group.
Good evening. I'm Angel Rodriguez, Communications Manager at the San Bernardino Community College District.
Fantastic.
Hello.
Hello, Pablo Machado, alumni from Arroyo Valley High School.
Oh, great. All right.
So I would be remiss if I didn't say that I'm a proud graduate of San Bernardino High School. Go Cardinals.
All right.
Yeah, Roy Valley.
There we go.
I just kind of want to give you a background of what the 30 Under 30 actually is. So Assembly Member Eloise Gomez Reyes asked the community of the 47th District to nominate individuals under 30 who edify dedication, innovation, and service in the 40th District. And we were honored on July 22nd. Myself and my awardees here, we were honored to, as the 30 most influential leaders under 30 in the 47th District. And so we got the award, but we just didn't want to be an award recipient. So we took it upon ourselves to meet as a group to say, you know, how do we continue our work in the 47th District to make a positive impact on the community that we all love? And so we started meeting, and we have a few projects that we're working on. One project that we would like to partner with San Bernardino City Unified School District on is our Community Care Day. So we would like to pick one or multiple schools to kind of come and beautify the school. We actually just got word this morning from the Assemblywoman's office that they reached out to United Way as a partnership to get more volunteers, and they are in 100% agreement with supporting us with the beautification of our schools. So our ask today is, are there any particular schools that we should target, or how do we go about actually working at our schools? We'll of course partner with some community organizations and some companies to get paint, utilize some, lawn mowing equipment or whatever else we need to do. But we just wanted to see if there was a formal MOU that we had to do, and what are the next steps for us to actually do this project that we want to work on.
Great question, and I have an answer. She's sitting right to your right, my left, and that's Ginger Ontiveros. And so she is the formal door to the district to coordinate and establish our partnerships. This is a great idea that you have, and we'd love to find a way to support that, help you make that happen. So thank you. Thank
All
you
right,
for your
thank you
investment
guys.
in our
You guys
community.
have a great evening.
Thank you for your leadership, and congratulations on your award.
Thank you, thank you. I'm kind of curious to hear about the 50 under 50 though.
Yeah, it's still in process.
Trayvon and fellows under 30, I would like to invite you to the San Bernardino Service Council. We meet in City Hall on the 8th floor, the 4th Thursday of each month. And we are part of the San Bernardino Cares Day. We work along with Cal State San Bernardino. But there's a Saturday in April that we do that, but we want to do some other things. In fact, I got a request already from City Hall of 2 senior citizens who need a lot of work. So I will send you, Trayvon, and you can get the information out to the others. Love to have you join us.
Great, thank you so much. You guys have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Yeah, good job. Congratulations. Board, those are all our public comments tonight.
Okay, and we're finishing a little earlier, so if someone comes in,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be able to.
We're about 3 minutes to 7.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move on to session 5.1, report by San Bernardino Teachers Association.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Superintendent Marsden, President Hill, Vice President Medina, members of the board and cabinet. I too also wanted to bring to your attention the award that our own Carla Cruz, lead district crisis team member and school psychologist, received from the National Association of, or the California Association of School Psychologists. Her work on that team was instrumental in responding to, basically responding to sometimes daily incidents that our crisis team deploys out, but also after the April 10th incident at North Park. So we definitely want to recognize her for her work. We know that it's a unique program that we have going in the district, and oftentimes school psychologists are thought of mostly as metrics, testometers, assessing kids for special ed, but there's so many more aspects to the job that they do as far as what they can provide for mental health services for our students and also for our staff when we have these types of things happening in our city. So we want to definitely honor her and also our psychologists later in November, and that's it.
Thank you so much. 5.2, California School Employees Association. 5.3, Communications Workers of America.
Good evening, Board. Ron
Good evening.
Fletcher, current AVP for CWA. What I would like to do is, when you guys okay the personnel report, there is a problem in it that I need to bring up to Mr. Wiseman, because you're going to have a whole bunch of high school teachers at San Bernardino very unhappy, because it says in there that they get substitute coverage after the third time. Well, I don't know when you started, but this year you've been doing it after the second time. So instead of looking at page 25, if you go to 39, you see Shannon Hills has it written correctly. I just think those people would appreciate having them, because once you okay this, doesn't you have a problem to have to on-okay it? That's all. And you can see up there is Mr. Gianni. He'll be replacing me maybe in November, because I've been offered a job that I'm finding very hard to put off, and that's with special ed at Hillside. So I'm going to talk to them a little bit more about it. Yes.
Ron, specify the error that you're pointing out.
All right, page 25.
Page 25.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
You take a look at it, it says approved payment to the following certificated personnel, San Bernardino High School, internal substitute coverage after the third time. We've been trying to get rid of that for years. So when you started last year doing it after the second time, I got excited. So I just wanted to point out to you that on page 39, it's written correctly. Okay?
Oh, so it should say second time?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Fletcher,
Thank you, Mr. Tillman.
this is your last meeting as president?
Actually, he takes over on December 1st, but yeah, you could say this is probably my last meeting as area VP.
Well, I just want to congratulate you and thank you for the work you've done as the union president. I think you were the first and only president?
Well, no, Don Hall was the first. I helped him create all the signatures and then get the union started. Don Hall was the next principal, and he died, geez, about 5-6 years ago. And I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, I know you've been on the ground floor, so thank you for all your work and cooperation. Appreciate it.
I would like to also
Wait
thank
just a
you.
minute. Dr. Flores?
Yes, I would like to also thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Your dedication and also vision for and advocacy for substitutes, and just making them become one of us, or so that we honor them as well.
Well, it wouldn't have been possible without you folks all getting together
Right.
and deciding that substitutes are real people.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Yes. So thank you. We'll miss you.
Don't leave yet. 2 more green lights. Mr. Gallo?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Hill. Does this mean our guest teacher program is going away?
No, sir. I think Mr. Gianni is more than qualified.
Well, we had substitute appreciation week or something. I was just wondering when the guest teacher appreciation week was going to come.
Well, on the substitute guest teacher thing, guest teacher is what the district decided to call us, because using the word substitute, as Dr. Hill and other people have said, you don't, when you go to a doctor and he's a sub, you don't go, oh. So it's been a great program. You've been leaders in the area. More and more schools are following, doing what you're doing. They just don't move quite as well as you guys do. The one thing, when I was at the Rialto board meeting just last Wednesday, they did thank me for helping to get the student board members here. because that makes their board member feel better, because now he's not just an odd person out. So I really appreciate all the work that you guys are doing in bringing everything forward. And because I've been here, like you have, Mr. Tillman, for many years where the board was just fighting so much amongst themselves, nothing got done. And I hope, Mr. Gallo, when I come back to visit sometime, you can walk on 2 feet.
I can walk on 2 feet. It
One
just
day.
happens to be with different color shoes.
Thank you, Ms. Medina.
Well, honestly,
Thanks,
Ron, since I became a school board member, you have always been there to make sure that we're addressing the needs of our guest teachers. And it's not just our guest teachers, but different programs, like you mentioned, the board students. There's different things that you have helped us make sure that we brought to our district, and you have done wonderful advocacy work, and we're definitely going to miss you and your guidance, but I trust Stephen will do a great job as well. But thank you for your service.
Okay. One of the things I'm looking forward to doing before I completely going on down the road to death is working with Dr. Volkhammer on the thing for Dr. Hill, getting us high schools to start later.
They start. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Marsden?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Ron, for your service, and I don't think I've ever seen someone that's been so committed and attended so many of our development sessions, training sessions, management meetings. You've been faithful. Thank you for your example in that.
You're welcome. It's the only way I can find out what's going on.
Thank you. And just want you to know that the rest of us up here, including cabinet that did not speak, we concur with everything that was said. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
5.4, San Bernardino School Police Officers Association. 5.5, San Bernardino School Managers. 5.6, comments by board members. Mr. Tillman, we'll start with you.
And I'm not saying this because I'm on the ballot, but I do want to encourage people to go out and vote. The only thing on the ballot in San Bernardino is the school board election.
Fairly
It is an
simple.
important election, so I want to encourage all our citizens to vote. I know this program I air on Saturday, and some people are watching it live right now, so your vote does count, and it's important who you choose as school board members. So I encourage you all to go out and vote on November the 7th or before.
Thank you, Mr. Tillman. Mr. Gallo?
Thank you, Dr. Hill. I just wanted to say that we had a great night down in downtown Riverside last Thursday, where we brought the entire Growing Hope team and the Tower Gardens and set up a huge thing under City Hall, and had hundreds and hundreds of people come by and watch our student population from San Andreas High School presenting to the public and parents. And we had our special education students presenting. Just a fabulous job they did. I'm so proud of these kids for what they're doing and getting them out there, explaining their work, explaining, their careers and their aspirations. And I was so proud of those guys. And just wanted you to know that San Andreas students made our district proud.
Good, thank you.
Thank
you so much. Ms. Medina?
Yes, I wanted to ask the district or Superintendent Marsden if they can provide a report. I know I was having some conversations with several leaders on regards ethnic studies, and we're trying to find out if our ethnic studies that we have at the 3 high schools are A through G approved. We also want to look at the demographics of the students that are participating, and the teachers, if I could try to have them contact, and I'll give you the information with the group that's trying to meet and collaborate with other school districts, and get their expertise and get their knowledge of how it's been and where we can try to improve, and maybe also if they're able to provide the contact for each of the high school.
Be our pleasure. Thank you, Ms. Medina.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rogers?
Thank you. I want to just comment again, and I really enjoyed the bullying undercover. I know Dr. Wyatt had requested, and that's something that we often deal with, especially in the county. And so I know we had, ironically, it's October Bullying Awareness Month, and we've had a few incidents that have been going on, but I appreciate the district getting right on it. And a lot of time, our community is really a close-knit community, and so they look for ways when we begin to say that we're having trouble in certain areas to also help close the gap. And so in particular, I talked to Dr. Marsden the other day about when the several incidents came up. I happened to be talking to Mr. Terrence Stone, and he, for those of you that don't know who he is, he had kind of modeled the mob community coming together type of focus from, I think it was being done in Chicago or somewhere. But anyway, that they took that on, him and a lot of community members, and many of us participated. And then Dr. Hill came up with another solution to say the mom mob, and that became trying to close the gap and be there in a positive fashion for our elementary students as well. So after we kind of looked at that, sometimes I don't like to reinvent the wheel, and many of us don't, because we're constantly doing things all the time. And we thought of the safe routes in combination with the bullying that is taking place in certain areas. And we have spoke to Dr. Marsden about, we're in the infant stage, but really we don't want to, have it's not going to take a lot of work to just encourage the community to come out. We want the district to help identify us, though, with either hats or vests or something like that. But it will be called the Safe Routes Community Mob, and it will be different. It will be after school, strategically encouraging and supporting, especially Joseph Polino, Chief Polino. I also spoke to him because we know that he's also working on that with the city as well. So we're looking forward to that, Dr. Marsden, getting together. So I just kind of wanted to share it with the board and let them know that we're looking to do that, because it's another way to get our parents involved, our community individuals. It's not a dress up, it's just to be there to make and let the students know that they're safe. And then lastly, I just want to invite everyone out November the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. I think I wrote it right. They're having the Parent Summit up at Cal State that the county is hosting. And so we definitely, I don't know, I haven't seen any internal flyers. I know the county is doing that, but maybe we can get those out to our parents. But it will go from 8 to 3:30, and it's a Saturday. But they have a lot of speakers, a lot of activities involved. And in particular, I may be presenting with Sherman Garnett, because we share the same passion with parents as well, to talk on that subject specifically. But it is at Cal State, it's free, food and everything. It's just a full day supporting parents and helping them navigate through the system. So if you see those flyers, please sign up. It's a very important day for our parents. It's the first one that they've had like that. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Flores?
Yes, I have about 3 things I'd like to share. I was really impressed, heartfelt in terms of the anti-bullying undercover. I think that if we would have that throughout our district, we would have a culture that really provides a space for our kids to thrive, and a culture of respect, and building of respect. Self-respect as well as mutual respect. So I concur with you, Ms. Rogers, and I know all our board was impressed by that. But I think we really have something going in terms of following it through. Dr. Marsden, Dr. Monatis, and thank you, Dr. Wyatt, for pushing that. I think that we have to invent and create ways, and I believe that we have the power to create ways to meet any kind of challenge. So I was really struck by it. I mean, heartfelt. Mrs. Christakos is not here, and I wanted to thank her for our board correspondence. Very thorough board correspondence on attendance in terms of how we get our average daily, what's this, ADA? What's the last A stand for?
Attendance. Average daily attendance.
Attendance, yeah, average daily attendance, funds. Oh, there she is. I'm thanking you. I'm thanking you because it's very important that not only we know all the intricacies I think the kids need to know, the parents need to know, all how we are funded, and that attendance is really important. And it was very, very thorough. I really thank you very much. It was, I knew some of it, but I didn't know all the little details related to it. But it was very thorough, thank you. And the last thing I want to say is that I'm the president of the California Latino School Boards Association. We held a unity conference October 5th through the 8th, and that's what it is, unity among all of us. And we had about 400 to 500 people there. We invited 100 Puente students, high school and community college, on Saturday. Our own Dr. Daniel Walker from Rialto gave a keynote. And his message was really incredible. He says, if you go alone, you go fast. But if you go together, you go further. And that's a great message for us. When we go together, we'll go farther in terms of where we want to go. And we had one of the first gubernatorial forums. So we had 4 of the gubernatorial forums there, which was great. And then we had our state superintendent candidates as well that were there. Tony Thurman and Marshall Tuck were there. And then we had a panel on women leading the way. I don't know if you all know, but there are 6 women leading the 6 largest education organizations in the state. Yes, Nina Boyd is African-American, and she's the first African-American woman to lead CASBO. Dr. Ramona Bishop is CASA. Dr. I think her name is Gutierrez. She's Axis. She's the AXA president, right? Lisa Gonzalez, yeah, Lisa Gonzalez. And then Martha Gutierrez, oh, no, Gonzalez or Gutierrez? Gutierrez? Martinez, I'm sorry. Martinez is the CALSA. And Susan Henry is CSBA. And then myself. So we have 6 women leading the way. And it was an incredible panel that we held. We also held a civil rights panel. And it was amazing because we had civil rights attorneys, and the theme was building bridges for all students, public education as a civil right. And so the civil rights attorneys dealt with immigrant rights, student immigrant rights, one attorney. The other one was water, that we have a right to clean water, that all of us have a right to clean water, not only as a civil right, but a human right. Then third person was related to ethnic studies, the Arizona case where Mexican-American studies was banned. It was restored by the Ninth Circuit Court. And lastly, the civil rights attorney on the Voting Rights Act spoke. So it was great. We had great attendance. The kids loved it, and it was wonderful. And our Puente students got to go, which was wonderful. So I thank you, Dr. Volkemer, for making that happen, and Dr. Marsden. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope that you all can come next time. I think you would enjoy it. Okay? Thank you. And next year, Dr. Mitchell, I would like us to present our African American task force and also some of the other work that we're doing. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Good, thank you. Sorry. Dr. Wyatt?
Thank you, Madam President, and I'll try to keep it under 5 minutes. No pun intended. First of all, I just want to thank Cajon High School and their staff for inviting us to their ribbon-cutting ceremony and seeing our money go to work in our new fields. I know Tom Pace is up there. I just happened to see him. And Tom, thank you to you and your staff for doing an amazing job and one step closer towards creating world-class facilities for our schools. Tom has an incredible vision and plan for us and what he wants to do for our schools and our programs. And it's really exciting to see as a board member when we we make decisions and we start to apply our funds towards something and it happens. And I know our kids are very proud to be out there, seeing our kids in their new uniforms, as well as our Cajon band in their new uniforms. Really exciting. I got one young man came by and said, "How do you feel about these uniforms?" He says, "I love them." You know, so it wasn't just the football team, but also our band that was out there too, looking sharp. And again, Ms. Bishop and Mr. Imbriani, again, for their warm invitation and just for their gratitude to the board as well and what we're doing. And then, of course, to our players for playing one heck of a game. They don't want to be too mean, but they really put on Citrus Valley, and it's always nice to see our teams play well. Another event that I got to attend last week was our VAPA Strategic Planning Committee meeting. And, you know, I'd encourage all of us to continue to support our VAPAs, our visual and performing arts programs. One stat, and I'm not exactly sure on this number, but I believe it was over 20,000 of our students participate in some form of VAPA, visual and performing arts. And that, when I was given the data and I looked at it at the meeting, I was blown away. Because I don't think we realized, I know I didn't for that matter, that, you know, almost 40% of our kids were somehow, some way involved in a VAPA program.
That's great.
So, I mean, when you think about that and the number of kids that are involved, and I know a lot of us here on this board really, truly want to support it and making sure, again, that we get those programs not just up and running, but with the materials, the supplies, the instruments they need to, again, create these top-notch programs. So visiting that was really fun to be a part of. Again, I'd love to see our community get more involved with our VAPA programs, and something that I look forward to being a part of as well. And again, just making that program be top-notch. You know, I don't know if we have one, but I wanted to ask, do we have like a district all-city band, marching band? Do we have something like that, Harold? I see you nodding your head over there.
We have all-city chorus, all-city orchestra, and all-city band. And
So
they
marching
perform in the spring each year.
Okay. You know, I think it'd be pretty awesome, like when our teams make it to you know, state finals or something, that maybe our all-city marching band would be there to play for them. Because I was watching some video on TV this week of some schools down in Orange County, and they were having their marching band go by during their football game, and I was like, wow, it was impressive. But you know, we make those special events. If we could have our marching band there, all-city marching band, to perform for our teams and stuff, I thought that'd be pretty awesome. Again, just to highlight our VAPA programs again. Disability Sports Festival, got to attend that as well. That was a couple Saturdays ago on 10/7. Ton of volunteers out there, and I just really would encourage folks to support our students with special needs, our adults with special needs. They didn't have the Wounded Warrior program there this year, but it was just a little bit of a glitch, and they're out there, and hundreds of volunteers and kids that are out there volunteering. You know, I don't know if we had any from our district, because there were so many orange shirts I couldn't even keep track, but a great opportunity for our kids as well in our district to get involved with supporting the Disability Sports Festival. Ms. Rogers mentioned a little bit earlier again about the bullying that, you know, a number of us have been, folks have been in touch with our community, and we just want to make sure our community knows that we're supporting them out there. And the message has been sent to our administration's on top of it as well. And perfect timing on the anti-bullying team's presentation by our folks from Curtis Middle School, and a great job again to them. And just to make sure we employ those types of strategies at our schools that we've identified with concerns. And I want to thank Dr. Menardez for her BCs as well, board correspondence. Great information. And one of the issues and concerns I had was on suspension rates. And I know I got to meet with Dr. Marsden last week, and we talked a little bit about this. And, you know, I had a concern about a couple different subgroups, but the wonderful thing that I went, and if you haven't been on the California dashboard, folks, go on there, because you could take a look at our district and really start to look at the data and analyze the data into our subgroups. And I just want to comment, because our students with special needs, their suspension rates are down 3.3%. Our African-American students is down 2.7%. I know those are two of our higher groups that I identified, but at the same time, I also want to acknowledge that we are going in the right direction, which is down. So congratulations and good job on our district and their staff for doing that, and let's try to get them to single digit if we can soon, and then keep going that same direction. And then another piece of data that I saw, this is my last thing, is our special education graduation rates are up 8.7%. So I thought that was a nice piece of information to share with our community as well, because that's a huge increase, you know, for years. So if we continue to do that, then we're going to really be shining in a lot of different ways. And again, if you have a chance to look at the dashboard, some information might not always be good, but it also gives us information that we could identify towards targeting, you know, our support as a board. But at the same time, there's plenty of good information on there too. So thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. I'm just sharing one thing that happened. I attended the Jack Brown College of Business and Public Administration, their ribbon cutting. And just want you to know that this year they gave scholarships to 3 students who graduated from San Bernardino City. And one student, Alex, got a chance to speak and did an awesome job. I think his name was Alex Huerta, but I'm not sure. But it's my understanding the Jack Brown College will be giving scholarships up to 4, I think. Don't quote me. I'm sure we can get the correct information, and Dr. Marsden, maybe you can call them to find out. But they're full-ride scholarships, and not for a year, but for 4 years. And I was just so impressed, and it's for just our district, for our district alone. So I just want to say to the Jack Brown family, and especially his wife, Debbie, thanks so much. And San Bernardino City really appreciate you making hope happen for our graduates who are more than deserving. So thank you. We'll move on now to 5.7, comments by the superintendent and staff members.
Thank you, Dr. Hill. And Board, I did want to mention to you last week, we had the pleasure of Cabinet and staff met with partners at Chaffee Joint Union High School District. As you know, Chaffee has some of the top A to G rates in the state. They've done some really great work over time. They are a high school district. They've been working on this for about 10 or 12 years. And because of their work, they've seen a growth rate of about 4.5% in their A to G rate consistently over the last 10 years. And so we met everyone in our district who touches A to G was present in the meeting, so I'm very excited about our next steps with that. Most of it centered on a culture of high expectations. I also, last week, I had the opportunity to attend the CSBA Superintendent's Advisory. The board knows I sit on that advisory. It was a fantastic group of leaders looking at CSBA's agenda, including areas around adequacy of funding and leadership, development among boards and superintendent relationships. I thought that was positive. Also, I wanted to bring to your attention that we have Operation Student Recovery coming up. Board, as a reminder, the Student Services Department conducts this. If you haven't been on one recently, I strongly encourage you to join us on October 25th. It's a fantastic opportunity to go around, visit families and homes. If you're interested, let Ms. Cunningham know that you are, or Ms. Cross, and they'll get you set up. Then on November 2nd, the district will hold its Black Honor Roll program to recognize its African-American students at secondary sites district-wide that are eligible for the honor roll. So, Board, if you are interested in attending, again, please let Karen Cunningham or Carla Cross know by Wednesday, November 1st. Also, Board, mark your calendars this year. Our community gathering, our annual community gathering will be November 9th. I'm looking forward to that meeting where you'll hold testimonials around each of our strategic engagement strategies from our community. So that'll be a fantastic event. And then, Board, I need your help. If you could submit 3 volunteers among you for our Grading Practices Committee in an effort to continue to refine and strengthen the district's grading practices. Dr. Mitchell and staff have commissioned a Grading Practices Committee, which will meet on Tuesday, November 7th, and Tuesday, January 23rd, 1 to 4 p.m. And at this time, I would like to extend an invitation to board members interested in volunteering to attend these meetings. And again, Board, is with any meeting with staff, you'd simply be observing so that you could provide the feedback necessary to this board. I think that's important. Any volunteers? Dr. Flores and Ms. Rogers.
Miss Medina would, because she was very interested.
And Ms. Medina. We'll just volunteer her in her absence. All right, thank you. And then finally, I wanted to bring to your attention, well, actually, a couple more things. One, I was able to participate with ICUC and welcome a group of parents for their Cal State San Bernardino tour later last week. And then just today, yesterday, we visited Indian Springs High School, Cabinet did, on a mock WASC visit. Fantastic. That staff is ready to roll. They're doing some great work. We're excited about that. And then we have an event coming up on the 25th of October we want to invite you to, and for that I'm going to have Dr. Mitchell mention to you what that event is about. You've been looking forward to it, and please mark your calendar and hope you can plan to attend.
Well, thank you, Dr. Marsden. So on the 25th, we'll start a 5-series event for all managers in the district, all 300 managers in the district, to start this work around cultural proficiency. We're starting with our leaders, and we have 5 dates scheduled. I have books for you. Let me just, they're heavy. And so we have the dates scheduled for October 25th, November 8th, January 31st, March 21st, and May 23rd. We'll get a flyer to you through Karen. Invite the board to participate. We're asking managers to read chapters 1 through 3 prior to the October 25th event. And so we've decided as a management team to start this work with our leaders first, and then go from there with relevant staffs and or even a pilot model around this work. So we're excited to begin this work. We think that this conversation centers with our leadership first, and then have those leaders drill this work down to their schools where it's relevant. So invite you to come and communicate with Karen if you're able to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. And board, those are all my comments. Thank you, Dr. Hill.
Thank you. Dr. Mitchell, what is our homework again?
Chapters 1 through 3 prior to October 25.
Okay.
The PDC from 1:30 to 4:30.
1:30.
Yes, ma'am.
You hear that, Mr. Tillman and Mr. Gallo? Your homework? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, board.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marsden, Dr. Mitchell. Section 6.0, consent calendar. So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded.
And
Are there any items to be pulled?
Yes, 6.15.
6.15?
Yes, to recuse.
Okay.
Ms. Rogers will recuse herself?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay.
If not, any discussion on anything yet? Okay, if not, let's vote. Let's vote now, please. Ms. Medina, okay? Oh, you didn't get a chance to leave, did you?
No, I mean, but did you?
There you go. Okay, thank you. And 6.15?
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ready for action items? 7.0 on page 21. 7.1, personnel report. Be it resolved. I'm highlighted, Dr. Wiseman, I'm sorry. Be it resolved that personnel report number 8 dated October 17, 2017, which contains actions such as hiring, retirements, resignations, promotions, and terminations involving certificated, classified, and other employees in the categories of noon duty aides, recreational supervisors, substitute employees, and others, be ratified and/or approved as presented.
Dr. Hill, I'm going to make an amendment. I want to thank Ron for catching that. On page 25, it states after the third time. Can we please amend that to after the second time? Thank you. And other than that, as presented.
Okay, thank you. With the correction on page 25, we are now ready for a vote. Are we ready for a motion?
Oh, so moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote, please. Thank you. 7.3, board ongoing initiatives.
Yeah, so board, this is a reminder, this is now a new format. We're attempting to capture the conversation we had last on the topic of the board's priorities around the top 10 and follow-up report. So we felt this was a good way to accomplish this. And so with that, you'll notice qualifying statement under item 7.3 that says, these items of the board has determined require periodic progress updates? Yes, yes.
Are we on 7.2 or 7?
I skipped over 7.2, so
Oh,
since the
forgive me.
discussion is on 7.3, do you want to
Forgive me.
finish that? And I
No,
will-
no, go ahead and go back to
Okay.
7.2.
All right.
Forgive me, I wasn't following
Thank-
along as well.
Thank you. No, I got my numbers incorrect. I'm sorry. So we could back up to 7.2. This is the resolution approving the charter school petition for Entrepreneur High School.
Move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Dr. Flores?
Yes. Dr. Marsden, don't we have entrepreneur programs in our high schools?
Yes.
We already have them, right? And, because I know I visited a couple of them.
Yeah, we have several examples of that work.
So our students have choice in terms of going to those particular programs. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? If not, let's vote at this time, please. Okay, thank you. Now, if we can return to 7.3. Dr. Morris?
Yes, and thank you. I just wanted to describe, Board, as you get into these next few items, we've set up a new way of organizing based on your discussion input. And you'll also observe below each item under 7.3, 7.4, and 7.5, there's a sentence descriptor. So it tells what those items are for specifically. So for example, under 7.3, these items the board has determined or deemed require periodic progress updates. Under 7.4, you'll see it says these items, once completed, will be removed from the list and may not require further updates. So of course, without being said, some may require further updates at your discretion. And then under 7.5, you'll see it says these items, once completed, will be removed from the list as decided by the board. At items from this list may be moved to the top 10 list as needed. And Dr. Volkermer, in just a few moments, when you get to that item top 10, will walk you through that process to repopulate your top 10 piece. But I wanted to give you that highlight and see if that meets your satisfaction, or if you have any other format that might better address the discussion we had last. Is this satisfactory?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve 7.3, because basically what we did is just take the ones that are kind of periodic updates and rolled them into this one, right? And so that leaves another 6 slots or so for the top 10 list. Because those aren't kind of just definitive endpoints.
So you've made a motion, Mr.
I made a motion to approve 7.3.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions?
The only discussion point, Board, is I just have you insert the word strategic between family engagement strategic plan.
Strategic.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm very pleased with this process of putting the initiative first and kind of move them away from the top 10, and that not only.
Thank you for that feedback, and thank you for your advice on this.
Thank you. At this time, I believe we have a motion and second. So let's vote at this time, please. Thank you. 7.4, Board Top 10.
Thank you, Dr. Hill. And so this is the part where, after you've called for your motion second, we may want to have Dr. Volkermer lead through the process.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Discussion?
So with that, Dr. Volkermer.
So, thank you, Dr. Marsden. So, Board, with the transfer of a number of items from the board's top 10 to the board ongoing initiatives, you can see we have 6 slots remaining in the top 10, which would be populated by the board follow-up. But if you go over to follow-up, there are 21 items currently there, 13 of which are listed as completed. So there are really only 8 to choose from. If you wanted to just, we're ready with our normal prioritization plan, but that would not include anything that you gave us as follow-up this evening. Basically, we have 8 items left over that are not marked as completed that would fill the 6 slots, and that would leave 2 on the follow-up or if you just want to do that at the next board meeting so that you can prioritize anything that was added to the board meeting this time, we can do it that way as well. See what falls out.
Okay. Further.
Prioritize and then give it.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'd like to, I know that one's on the top 10 list already, I think maybe reword some of the one that's in the first one, the number one. I'll get with, I think Keenan, probably you and I could work that because it's a much broader topic than, this is really an intervention strategy on how you assess, target an individual that needs certain interventions, get the interventions initiated as quickly as possible so that they can, be reintegrated, so to speak, into their class schedule through the thing. So I know it's a logistics issue and all of this stuff. So it's a much broader thing. It says it to me, but I'd like to maybe.
Which one is that, Mike?
It's number one.
Number
on
one.
this. Yeah, and.
Oh, the one.
Mr. Gallo will be happy to schedule
Oh,
some
right
time
there.
with you.
Okay.
It's just, how do we get kids the interventions and the learning strategies that we
Right.
need early on, like August 2nd. We started August 1st, so August 2nd, we're got an intervention strategy going, as versus, wait until mid-year or something. So, great. I look forward to doing that.
Any further discussion? There's a motion on the floor. Let's vote, please.
Scott?
Dr. Wine. Thank you. And that was 7.4, 7.5.
So I guess by definition, we'll just make a motion to approve that because we're going to identify the ones on here. By the way, I'm sorry, make the motion first.
Second.
It's been,
Okay, and
we
then
have a motion and a second discussion.
just
Mr.
a
Gallo?
comment on this. Are we thinking to add additional items if, say, some of the 8 or 9 that are remaining uncompleted on this are something we'd say, not really want for the top 10 list, but I'd like X to be on the top 10 list?
We can have you prioritize. What I think I heard the board say is wait till the items from this, any follow-up items from this evening are added, which we do tomorrow morning, actually. We'll send that list out to you in the normal prioritization process we use, and if we can get them back from you, we'll have it reprioritized into the top 10 and follow up for the next board meeting. Is that okay?
Sure.
Very good. Further discussion? If not, let's vote, please. Thank you. 7.6.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. 7.6, discussion. No discussion. Let's vote, please. Mr. Gallo?
Okay, now we're going to close session.
Session 8, 8.0. We will go into closed session, and we will be reporting out. So for those of you who are with us this evening, we want to thank you for being here. And if you want to stick around, we invite you to do so. You might want to look at the rest live stream at home. But at any rate, this concludes the regular meeting for October 17th. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the report out from closed session. Pursuant to Education Code Section 44942, be it resolved that the Board of Education approves a statement of facts for suspension of the following certificated employee. HR certificated 17-18-01.
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote, please. Thank you. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the appointment of the following employees: Christian Bikendova, high school principal, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined, funding 035. We'll vote individually.
Move
The
to
motion?
approve.
Is it? It's been moved and properly seconded. And let's vote, please. Thank you. Kari, K-A-R-I Freeman, Elementary School Vice Principal, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined. Funding 035.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote, please. Thank you. Lester Ojeda, Assistant Director, English Learner Programs, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined from funding 419.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote, please. Mr. Gallo?
Yeah, I swear I pressed it.
Thank you. Demet Rappa, High School Vice Principal, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined. Funding 035.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote, please. Thank you. Bernardo Valenzuela, High School Principal, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined. Funding 035.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote, please. Thank you. Letitia Villa, Adult School Principal, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined. Funding 130.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Let's vote, please. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Happy Halloween. Meeting closed.